Hey guys, Randy with Lowbuck LS here again, and this week we're gonna make a bench harness out of this. Basically took the 411 ECM and the first foot or two of the harness from a, this was a 411, so out of like a '01 or '02 Chevy Silverado, the old drive-by cable ones. And took the OBD port out of the same truck, and we are going to use that to build a benchtop wiring harness, so you can remove VATs or hook up HP tuners or PCM hammer or whatever your choice of tuning software is powered up on the bench. So if you're interested in that, stick around, we'll get right into it. Alright, so like I said, we're going to work on putting together a bench harness to program these ECMs. So first thing we're going to do is strip off all this plastic corrugated cover and take the connectors off the ECM. Alright, and this is how it looks partway through the process here. Got all that corrugated loom stripped off the wires. Now I'm going to use my 7mm socket and take out these two bolts right here, and we should be able to unplug those connectors from the ECM. And here we've got the upper, or the red connector, disconnected, and I believe to make this bench harness we don't even need the red one. We can get by with the blue one. So we'll get rid of this one and take this one off, and this should be the blue one that we need to build our bench harness. And there you can see we've got the blue connector off, and there's also these rubber gasket sealy things. We're just going to get rid of those for now, put them off to the side, and we can plug this in and out without those. But obviously if we put it on the truck, we would put those back on to seal out any moisture or dust or anything. But for now, let's dig into this blue connector here. We'll take this gray cover off, and then I'll dig out a wiring diagram from lt1swap.com and figure out which wires we need here to connect to our OBD2 port, and then we'll have to get power to this ECM as well. And here's just a look at how these gray covers come off. You just got to squeeze this tab in, and you can see right there, grab a screwdriver here, that hole right there is where that tab comes out of. So if you squeeze it in like that, you can just pull it out. There's 3 on each side, so I'm gonna get rid of that gray cover. And this is what that connector looks like with the gray cover taken off, and you can see the pin numbers above each wire on that connector right along there. So now we're going to look on the computer. Like I said, lt1swap.com is a good resource for any wiring diagrams from this era of Chevy truck. So we'll go pull up a wiring diagram and get rid of most of these wires in here. Okay, so here's the sheet with the windy here, pinouts from lt1swap.com, and it's also can be found, I got this book here, LS Gen 3 Engine Wiring Systems, that also gives a list. Basically wrote down everything we need to know here. So on the blue ECM connector, we only need 4 wires. Pin 1 will be ground, pin 19 will be your switch 12 volts or ignition, pin 20 will be your constant 12 volts, pin 58 will be your serial data, and again those wires are all numbered there. And on the OBD2, pins 4 and 5, these 2 black wires will be ground, pin 7 will be this purple wire, that's your serial data, and pin 9, this orange one, will be your 12 volt power. Okay, so To de-pin these harnesses here, you got to pull these little blue covers off. So in order to do that, you just stick a little screwdriver in right here, and there's a little white tab that you got to press down on. And same thing on the other side of it. Little white tab. Oh, and then the other side latched back in, so there you go. Now you can get at all these pins here, and then you just pry up on these little white tabs here, and you should be able to pull out the wires you don't need. So we'll get to work on that. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, I've got most of these wires pulled out, but just wanted to show how to pull these little wires out of the ECM connector. So easiest way I found is just push it in a little bit and then take a screwdriver and hold up this little tab, and in theory that wire should come right out. We'll do another one here just like that, and there. Now you can see we're down to the 4 wires that we need here. We've got pin 1 is the ground, pins 19 and 20 are our ignition power and battery power, and pin 58 is our serial data. So now we will hook those up to our power supply and to our OBD2 port. Okay, so before I actually put this together permanently, I thought I'd just power it up on the bench here with, got this Amazon benchtop power supply, just to make sure it works. So we'll fire up, computer's just booting up here, so we'll fire up VCM editor, and from this power supply I can see that it's drawing 0.393 amps or 393 milliamps. I think that'll actually go up a bit when I'm reading and writing to the ECM or PCM, I guess it's technically called in 0102. But I see in a lot of tutorials they say you need like 1,000 milliamp or a 1 amp power supply. But the one I've got that I borrowed from work is a 800 milliamp. And yeah, I think it might draw 400 and some milliamps when it's reading and writing, but this 800 amp one will be fine. You could probably get away with a 500 amp one if you wanted to. So anyways, now HP Tuners is opened up. By default it goes to the last file you work on, so we'll close out of that and go to Flash and read vehicle, and then we'll click on this gather info, and I could have done a screen share, and yeah, it's reading. That's the serial number of the truck that I robbed at Pick and Pull. And so yeah, we'll go read, and that'll read the program out of it. And yeah, now you can see we're drawn 412 milliamps or something like that. But it is working. It's going to take another minute and 35 seconds here, but looks like this is going to work. So we'll put this together a bit more permanently using this plug into the wall power supply and some little crimp connectors. Got crimping tools there, and then I got some of this heat shrink tube with the adhesive inside to we'll get this all put together in a way that I won't need this benchtop power supply every time. So one other thing I wanted to point out is you'll see a lot of tutorials and guys online put like switches into the ignition power and constant on power, because there's, when you're writing with HP Tuners, I think there's a time it says to like turn on your ignition key, and without that switch you won't be able to do that, but it's not a problem. As you can see, it is reading the info just fine, and I don't want to use 2 credits on this one yet, but you will see that it'll write just fine with no switches or anything. So that's the simplest way of putting together a LS swap bench harness. Alright, so thought I'd show how I wired this up before I cover the crimps up with shrink sleeves. Oh, and just dropped my power adapter on the floor. So yeah, basically same as the way the wires were connected up before, but now instead of the benchtop power supply, we've got this little wall power adapter, and power from it goes to the orange and the pink in 19 and 20 on your blue connector on the PCM, and also to the orange wire on your OBD2 port. Black wire from the power connector goes to the ground for pin 1 on the PCM, and the 2 black wires in the OBD, and the green wire from pin, I think it was 58, hooks up to the purple wire on your OBD2 port. So now we will cover that up with some shrink sleeve and shrink it down, and just confirm it works. We'll plug it into the wall and make sure HP tuners can connect. Okay, so we've got it all put together. Heat shrink is shrunk, and we've got our wall adapter plugged into the wall there. Got our HP tuners hooked up. So let's see if it works. We'll go into flash here again, read vehicle. Gather info. And it's working. We'll go read. And it's doing its thing, so looks like a winner. Yeah, that's the simplest way I know of to build a bench harness for programming your ECMs or PCMs with HP tuners. So now that we've got this bench harness built, I want to do some experimenting. I'm pretty familiar with HP tuners, but I want to learn how to use PCM hammer. So I'm going to look into that, and for the next video, hopefully I can show you guys how to remove VATs and do some basic tuning with PCM hammer. So stay tuned for that. When I get a video up on that, I will post a card here.